Hello and welcome to Cooking with PMQ. In our previous basic dough recipe video with the dough doctor Tom Lehman, we showed you how to make a great basic pizza dough. And in our continuing dough doctor series, Tom Lehman's going to teach us all about effective dough management. So let's take a look. Alright, so now we've got our dough ball here and we are going to cut it out and evenly portion it up. What are we looking for on our cuts here today, Tom?
Our cut weights today, we're going to be making 14-inch pizzas. Okay. So we're going to use the old rule of 1 ounce of dough per inch of diameter. So we're going to start with 14. Do you have to use 14? No. Could you use 12? Absolutely. Depending upon what you're looking for in thickness.
You said 1 inch?
1 ounce per inch of diameter.
So 1 ounce per inch of diameter. So we're looking for a 14 ounce or 14-inch pizza. So we're going to start with 14 ounces. And as you said,
that's
if we
a starting point.
Right. And as you said, if you want to go less, it's going to make it thinner and crispier. If we want to go more, it's going to make it thinner or thicker and more fluffy.
Right.
So
all depends on what you're looking for.
Perfect.
And so many people say, well, what should my scaling weight be? And I can't answer that because your customer will dictate what they're looking for, what they're used to.
Right. So we've got, what do we got here? We're going with 14, correct?
14.
See if I can get this cut here.
Now, what we do, we've got it scaled off. Our dough pieces are 14 ounces. And we got a couple options. We need to put this into a round ball format.
Right.
And what a lot of people will do is they'll stand here and they'll talk and, hey Brian, I heard that the fishing was pretty good last week.
Oh yeah, man, I caught me some big old walleyes, and then a shark came up and grabbed them, and I was really mad.
Yeah.
But you know,
how'd that new boat work for you?
You know, I was doing a lot of paddling and stuff. They told me I should buy a motor, but who's got the money for a motor, right?
Yeah, I agree totally with. See what's happening now. How long has it taken for me to make this dough ball?
About 35, 40 seconds.
All right. Now, is it any wonder that people say, gosh, I've got 80 pounds of dough here, and it takes me an hour to get it all processed into dough balls? It shouldn't, because what we're going to do now is I can simply take this, pat it down with one hand,
What? That didn't just happen. Do it again. Let me give this a shot here. I have never done this, so what do we want to do? I want to chuck it down there.
Chuck it down. Flatten it out.
Flatten it out. And grab it, lift it, grab it, lift it, grab it.
Yep.
Lift it, grab it.
Now what you're going to do is turn it over. It's on the bottom. And what you're going to do is actually use your hand and you cup it a little bit.
Cup it.
And your hand stays on the table.
Right.
If it comes off, it'll roll it. So your hand stays on the table, across and away.
Across and up. So
across
over and up.
away. And this part of the hand here hits that dough and stretches it. No, you're bringing your hand like that.
Okay.
So watch that thumb. That's thumb's kind of sticking out.
Yeah.
Across and away. Across and away.
Oh, yeah. Like back and to the left.
Now what you do is, well, Brian's practicing over there.
See, this is what I'm getting over here. I'm pushing too hard, getting little bits.
What you end up doing is once you master one hand, then you learn to master two hands.
I should start with my left
hand. And pretty soon you're doing just two at a time. And that's all there's to it. Now, we're going to put these into a dough box.
Okay.
And some people oil the bottom of the dough box. I don't like to do that.
I used to oil the bottom, thinking that it needed to be oiled, but it doesn't because it doesn't have the cohesion. It slides everywhere. If you do anything, do you recommend oiling the top to kind of keep it from drying out? Okay.
We're going to use a 3x4 configuration.
3x4?
Uh-huh.
And these are 14-ounce dough balls, so 3x4, so you can get, what is that, 12 in each?
12 in each. Okay. Now, we've got our dough in here, and one of the things that we have to do, we have to cross-stack these. And let me show you. Hang into the box here, Brian.
Gotcha.
What we're going to do is, first of all, if you have a walk-in cooler, you've got all kinds of space in your walk-in. So it's really not difficult to cross-stack them. But on a walk-in, this is how we cross-stack them. If you notice these cleats, those are actually to stabilize that.
Right. Most of these plastic dough trays are going to have these anyway.
Yeah. Some of the older ones don't, but most of the new ones do. And what this does is allows moisture and heat to escape and allows these dough balls to cool down evenly. If you have a reach-in cooler, you're not going to be able to do that. It doesn't work because you're not going to have enough space. So what you do is, it's called an offset stack. right
Oh,
there.
very nice. Okay.
Then the next one would be set that way.
Right.
So
right.
this end remains open and allows the same thing to happen.
Okay.
But you can imagine now, this side here is sealed. We only have half the cooling. So it's just a very small opening. As a result, we need to have the dough colder.
Okay. Now, most people are going to think that this is going to dry out their dough too much if it's not a hard seal. Is that going to be an issue?
It will during the initial cross-stack procedure.
Okay.
And the way we address that, Brian, if you'll hand me that brush.
Okay.
And what we've got here is we've got a little bit of olive oil. It could be a blended oil. It could be salad oil. It really doesn't make any difference what kind of oil. And all we're going to do is we're just going to paint the top.
And that's just the top. I know you have to get every millimeter of this thing covered.
No.
No.
Just the top.
Okay.
And I'm not really trying to get a, if I get probably 85–90% coverage, that is good enough. And I like to say that from the time that the dough comes off the mixer to the time that we get it all processed and into the boxes, no more than 20 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes is all the time we need.
15 to 20 minutes from mixer to box?
From mixer to box. And if you can't do it in that length of time, downsize your dough, make them a little bit smaller.
Okay.
And the reason why is because as this dough sets here, you can even see here it's beginning to do it.
Right, and this has barely been 15 minutes, but
Yeah.
we're already getting this hard skin. I don't know if you can see this.
We're getting a hard skin on it.
See that? Yeah, you can
And
see it wrinkling up there.
It's beginning to change in density.
Right.
It seems to be getting lighter.
Versus this, which is on the bottom, still very soft. Flip it over, we got a wrinkle.
Yep.
And that's just, like I said, barely been 15 minutes. So 15 minutes from mixer to tray.
15–20 minutes
to walk in.
to walk in. So I want them to remain the same temperature all the way into the cooler.
Right.
And that's the consistency that I need. With that kind of consistency, this dough will hold up for, I'll guarantee you, 3 days. You could go 4 days.
All right. So speed is our friend here. I did want to address one thing really quick. You said about cross-stacking these when you put them in. Now, say we have a reach-in right here, but we have enough room to actually cross-stack these. Would you recommend this?
If you have the room, cross-stack them.
How long do you cross-stack them for?
Basic rule is 2 hours.
Okay.
2 hours for anything under 16 ounces.
Okay.
3 hours for anything over 16 ounces.
Perfect. And then after the 2 hours or 3 hours, you switch them up and create the seal.
So again, consistency, consistency, consistency.
Right.
Time and temperature are the keys to effective dough management.
Perfect.
Without those, you do not have effective dough management.
Sounds good. We'd like to thank you guys for joining us with Cooking at PMQ. I'm Ryan Hernandez with our very special guest, the dough doctor, Tom Lehman. We hope this has been beneficial to you guys, and we hope you guys are going to go out and try this recipe in your own pizzeria. Work smarter, not harder, right?
You've got it.
Thank you very much.